Welcome to Rally the Tartans, where ancient echoes rise with every throw, where clans gather, steel meets stone, and the past walks beside us. We're lifting culture, throwing tradition, and celebrating the warriors, the history, and the heart of the Highland Games. I'm your host, Michael Paul Wolfgar Lewis. Let's rally the Tartans. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you may be listening to this at what time of day. Thanks for tuning back in to Rally the Tartans. This is a really bittersweet episode for me because this is going to be the last episode that we film right here in this little corner of my world. We are moving, which means we're going to have some changes. But first, I definitely want to wish you guys a happy new year. Hopefully, you guys went out with a bang for 2025. I see a lot of folks out there in the practice groups already striving for 2026, putting in the work. It's going to be an exciting season. So for me, I'm going to have to take a step back just for about a month and a half. I know I said I was going to come out with a big interview right now, but I want to take a step back just for about a month and a half. I think February 15th is when I will come back because, again, guys, I want to make this show something that's never been done before. Where I'm moving, I am moving from just a corner in my room to an actual studio room that I will have dedicated just to the Highland Games, to where I can bring in guests and have more than just my ugly face here. And most of you don't see it because you listen on Spotify, but on YouTube. So we're gonna make some changes to the podcast room. You know, growing up, I was a huge fan of ESPN's Cold Pizza. I loved that set, loved that show, and how that operated with multiple people. I'm a Joe Rogan fan. You know, I listen to some of his podcasts. I love his setup, how him and the guests are right there having a face-to-face conversation. Nothing is scripted. It is all just from the heart. or some witty jokes, right? But then again, I also love the Pat McAfee show, and it's the same kind of setup, you know. But I want to be able to show highlights from our athletes all across the country, all across North America, even in Canada, you know, and highlight these athletes the way they should be highlighted, and that's going to take some tax on me. I have to make sure that I know how to do all this video editing. Right now, it's a one-man show. I don't have a producer. I don't have a budget. I started this as a hobby because I absolutely love the Highland Games, the Celtic culture, and everything that goes along with these festivals that we throw. So I'm going to take the next month and a half building the studio, but I'm going to be working every single day on learning how to create a production, an actual video production. I want it to be more than just myself. This Rally of the Tartans is bigger than me. When I die one day, and that's the only guarantee in life, I want somebody else to pick up the Rally of the Tartans banner and continue it, to continue the legacy, not for my legacy, but for the legacy that for every man and woman that's put on a kilt, that's taken the competitive field to represent themselves and their ancestors. That's what I want Rally of the Tartans to be. It's so much bigger than me. In my mind, it's so much bigger than me. I know it's not that big. It's not like we're streaming a million hits a month or even 1,000 a month at this point. But it's a community that I love. It's a community that's already supported me. So I can't thank everybody enough, from one of my favorite people in the world, Miss Dawn, all the way to Tom, my last interview, and everybody in between. I mean, the Godfather, the Rebel Architect, you know, all these guys showed me love when they never had to. They didn't have to do anything because I am a small fish in their big pond. Although I am taller than all of them, so I'll just throw that out there. Right? Got to keep it a little competitive. But anyways, that's what's going on. So I know I was supposed to have this out on the 1st. Today is the 3rd when I'm recording this. It's Saturday morning. I'm sitting in pretty much basically an empty house. We have some of just the big pieces of furniture to move, and that's it. So So I just wanted to take the time to jump on here to make sure that I put some information out on what's going on. I've kind of been silent on all the social media because I've been working on some things. I've been making sure that we set this up right, and I'm also back on my fitness journey, man. When I moved up to Southern Indiana from Florida after the hurricane, I was 267 pounds. I am 383 pounds right now. Now I'm a big boy. I'm 6'7", so I carry it well, but not well enough to move. Um, in the Highland Games and throwing, I personally believe you got to be able to move quick. Quick movement is better than just raw power. We can debate that on the next one. Harry might be rolling over in his grave when he hears me say that. I've heard him say mass moves mass, and I agree. I definitely agree, especially for my hog mollies on the offensive line. Uh, you know, so that's something that I'm trying to do. I'm gonna lose 100 pounds. I'm gonna document it. I'm gonna try to lose more than 100 pounds. My goal weight is gonna be about 260. And at 6'7", I should be lean enough and strong enough to move the weight far enough. I have some Highland Games goals, not for this year. I'm still coming back from an injury. I'm not going to rush it. I've heard KO talk many times about people that just continuously are injured and always hurt and never putting forth their best performance. I don't necessarily want to win the Masters Championship in 2027, but my goal is to get invited as an athlete, not as a judge, not as a not as a broadcaster, not as a reporter, not as the podcast. I believe the podcast will be there, but I want to get invited as an athlete in 2027, and I'm going to work really hard in the gym and on the practice field in 2026, and then 2027 I'm coming. So for all those folks that have seen me at their games, just know I'm coming, buddy, and that podium is what I'm shooting after. So I don't uh I don't like to lose. And that's why I'm not signing up next week. To head down to Central Florida, where I went to one of my first games there, where I went to my first game as a competitor. I can't believe we have the 48th annual competition coming up, dude. I'm super excited for those guys down there. January 17th and 18th, Central Florida. They say it's Orlando North, but it's Winter Park. Excuse me, Winter Springs. There is a Winter Park, Florida. Don't go there. Go to Winter Springs. I love that venue. I love Gary. He was a great AD. It was my first time ever, being at an event. He was very helpful. He explained things. It was very fluid, very easy. And then I met one of my favorite judges ever, Miss Deb, who is a fantastic person down in Florida. So I don't even know if she listens to these silly podcasts, but if she does, Miss Deb, I appreciate you. You're the best. And I hope to see you soon. Clan Buchanan, I believe, is the clan of the year. So shout out to Clan Buchanan. If any reps from Clan Buchanan want to come on in the future, definitely give us a call. Let us know. Shoot us an email, whatever it is. I'd love to talk about that with you guys. So we are right on the edge of the new season starting. I do believe Central Florida is the first games in the country every year, so that's going to be awesome. You got a couple following up after that. I am.
It's warm. It's not. Hey, it's Brian. Lightning Land Capital. I'm over here at Caloosahatchee.
This Florida town, Caloosahatchee. The Caloosahatchee Celtic Festival is coming up January 24th and 25th. Again, Florida kind of kicks off the season for everybody. And then you got the old rebel architect, Danny Webster himself, who is the AD for the Suncoast Scots Celtic Festival. That one is awesome. That's down in Sarasota. That's actually one of my local ones that I would have been going to. I'm from a little small town in Florida called Englewood, Florida, just south of Sarasota. Super sad to be missing that one. But I don't think I'm going to miss a lot coming up the following year. I'm going to work on some things this year, and then I still have that idea of the bus, getting a bus, converting a bus into a mobile podcast, and I have been looking at buses. Ooh, excuse me. No edits here, baby, because we don't have time, so I apologize for that. I've been looking at the little like shorter buses, like the Ford E350 vans that are converted into like a little small bus. I'm not exactly sure if I want to go get like a big school bus. I believe I'd have to have a different CDL for that, and I mean that's not a problem. I'll go pass a test. Um, but I'm just trying to see what would be best. If you guys have ideas for this bus, let me work and brainstorm with you guys out there. Let me know what we got going on. Because or if any of you have ever converted a bus, let me know what you have going on and your recommendations. I will tell you that I am crazy, so I will pretty much do anything to the bus just to make it stand out and visible. That way, when we're driving from one Highland Games to another, people take pictures of it. That's what I want. I want to promote the Highland Games. I want to pique people's interest. So I think that would be a great idea. I mean, I'll raise it up and put some swamp mutter. I did live in Florida for quite a while, so I'm not afraid of that. Or, just maybe getting some other kind of short bus just to keep it easy. Nice little bunk in there for me to get some rest before the games and, turn out the podcast equipment to maybe have it push out into the field, through one of the back exit doors. Or I've seen some that are handicap accessible to where that podcast equipment could just shoot out, pop up a tent and do everything right there on the outside. Um, Speaking of that, also, I know this is crazy. I'm also going to go ahead and go for the drone license, the FFA license, the commercial license, so I can use that footage for um, monetary purposes, I guess. Now, I was looking into the rules, and I can go as a spectator and just, get footage of the events. But if I use it on something that is turning into money, you have to have that license. And I guess the deal here is, what started as a hobby with Rally the Tartans is I want to put some investment into it. I want to make this a real show where we're highlighting athletes, we're having ads and stuff. I've had a few friends in my own businesses as our our ads on here. They haven't given me anything. It's just the love and appreciation over the years. So I make sure to share that love with anybody that shares it with me. That's kind of the guy I am. But I want to, I want to have a title sponsor. I do have an actual brewing company that I'm looking at targeting for a sponsorship, a title sponsorship that I think would be great for what we're doing here in the Highland Games and making sure, they're kind of national. Well, they're not national, I don't believe, but they're regional as far as they're on the east coast of the country, which is where I am and most of my listeners so far. So another thing that I want to work on, 6, get the West Coast involved. A lot of my family is from California, Oregon, Washington. My grandfather, Thomas Campbell, Nevada. I want to make sure that we are incorporating the whole country. So these are just all things that we're working on, and I have to make better, and I have to make sure that I step back for the next month and a half, and then bring you something fresh on a new season 2 starting February 15th. I think is what we're gonna do. So this is just me talking to you guys. I love to think and brainstorm and put stuff down. These are all the things that I've been actually writing down and trying to figure out and see what's going to be best for us and this community, right? Because this is a vibrant community. I've said it a million times. What these men and women do on the field should be on ESPN. If they put the CrossFit Games on ESPN, they should put the Highland Games on there. If stone lifting is going on, we should be seeing it on ESPN. And we all laugh about the Ocho. But my God, I can't tell you how many times I've watched the CrossFit Games, strongman competition, and I love that stuff. The people that will watch it will want to watch it, and they will tune in. So that's where I'm at with it. I've rambled. Literally just rambled in your ear for so long. Gotta love that coffee. I don't know if you guys have Kroger's where you are, but I drink the Highlander grog. It's not because it's cliche, but it's because it's turned into my favorite coffee. I drink black coffee, no sugar, no nothing, just straight black coffee. And it's got like some hazelnut. I don't know. Highly suggest. So, don't forget the games that are coming up. Don't forget to tune in and here in a little while, I'm gonna have to make the finite decision on what to do with the podcast. We started out on Podbean December, maybe end of November, December. We moved it over to Spotify Creator. I've been talking with a friend of mine, an acquaintance. I call him a friend because one of those guys where you pick up the phone for the first time you talk to him, you feel like you've been friends forever. Clint over at Scottish Clans. You can find him on YouTube. Great individual, great content over there. He does long form content there. Has a podcast on Spotify as well. We've been talking about the difference between Podbean and Spotify Creator, and I know a lot of folks don't have Spotify. Some people use Apple Music, some people Amazon Music. So he and I, but I'm trying to figure out what's going to be the best vehicle to get this show out to you guys. I know I got a great cousin out there who I love dearly, who she likes the YouTube version. She prefers the video version. That's awesome. Love it. Thanks for supporting me, guys. I appreciate that. But that's something else, maybe we'll do the Podbean version and put all the video up on YouTube to create that channel, because I'm going to be working hard on video this year with everything coming up. So we have a lot to think about in the next month to make sure that we bring you the best show possible. And then I also got my first indoor meet coming up on the 17th of this same time that you guys will be cracking the field open down at Central Florida, Winter Springs. I'll be taking my team to their first indoor meet, which I'm super excited for. Maybe it's just because I'm a passionate guy. I don't know if it has anything to do with me, but maybe. We had 13 kids on the team last year. We have a whopping 27 member throwing team. I coach the boys and girls at the high school. I may have recruited some from the football team because I am a football coach as well. But it's expanding, and I'm making sure these kids understand, that throwing is a great sport to be in. It's a you versus you. You can't say, "Oh, well, my teammate didn't do this. They didn't make the pass. They didn't make the block." You know what I'm saying? It's a very you versus you, and I'm finding some competitors out there, and I love it. So we'll see how all that goes. Listen, I don't want to take up a whole bunch of your time because I have a lot that I can ramble about. I can literally ramble for hours about stuff that I love. And I know a lot of my family and friends can probably vouch for that. So let me just close, and let you guys know that I can't stress enough how much I appreciate everybody, everything you guys have done for me on the podcast, all my guests for 2025. You guys rock, amazing. I have so much love and gratitude for you guys. Thank you for all my guests that I've reached out to for 2026 that have already said, yes, you're coming on. Thank you very much. I hope to do you more justice than I did my friends starting the show, because there was a lot of kinks that we had to work out to make sure that we were getting everything done correctly for you. So anywho, here we go. We appreciate you. We hope you have a great 2026. And if you or any of the clan societies or vendors that need help getting promotion out, give me a call. I'll be glad to make sure everybody gets taken care of. This is Michael Paul Wolfgar Lewis signing off for Rally the Tartans.